Meantime, the Houston Astros have added a big bat, acquiring slugger Trey Mancini from the Baltimore Orioles. The 31-year-old has 10 home runs this season with 41 RBIs, logging time at first base, DH, and outfield for the O's. And Jim Bowden joining us, our MLB insider. Jim, the second deal we want to talk about is the Astros acquiring Trey Mancini, who's done it all, DH, first baseman, and outfield. How big is this for the Astros to get Mancini here?
Yeah, this is interesting because the Astros have been working so hard to acquire Josh Bell from Washington or Wilson Contreras from the Cubs, and they just got frustrated today. They just weren't making any progress here, and they started getting engaged with Mike Elias, who used to work in the Astros organization. He knows that organization really well, the GM of the Orioles, and they were able to do this deal. Now, this deal is kind of fascinating because Baltimore is only a few games back in the wild card race. I mean, they're actually in a race right now for one of the wild card berths. And Trey Mancini, quite frankly, is the most popular Oriole in the clubhouse. He's the most popular Oriole with Oriole fans. This is not going to go over well in Baltimore. But Mike Elias felt like he had an opportunity to get two quality pitching prospects from the Houston Astros, a decision that he didn't feel he could turn down. Mancini was going to be a free agent. The Orioles had made the decision they were not going to extend him or re-sign him. And so this was one of those roll-up-your-sleeves, tough business decisions. They knew it would be unpopular, but they're building for the future, and they feel like they've got a couple arms in this deal that have a chance of really helping them down the road. On the other side, for the Houston Astros, they were not getting the production from veteran Yuli Gurriel at first base. They were dealing with the injuries that Michael Brantley has gone through. And Dusty Baker, the manager, made it very clear to GM James Click a couple of weeks ago that he needed one more bat to put them over the top. Mancini's that bat. He can play first and left, as you mentioned. He can DH. I think first base, DH, probably the best two spots to put him. But this is one of the more underrated hitters in the game. He can hit for average. He can hit for power. And I'll tell you what, that power of his is going to play a lot better in Houston than it was in Camden Yards, where they had moved the wall back this year and raised it. So you can look for his home run power to increase, and especially being in that deep Houston lineup, because they were pitching around him a little bit in Baltimore. They won't be able to do that at all in Houston.
How do you see him, where do you see him fitting into this Houston lineup, into that outfield?
Yeah, I mean, I think it ends up at first base with Gurriel not swinging the pole. I think that was the whole intent. That's why they were after Josh Bell as well. Play some time at DH as well. You can fill him in the left field as well. But I think the acquisition was made mainly because they weren't getting the production that they wanted from Gurriel at first, and I think that's why they made this deal.
95 hits, 10 home runs for Mancini, 41 RBI as he now joins the Astros as they get ready for a run to the postseason. Our MLB insider Jim Bowden confirming both deals that we just discussed. Thanks, Jim. Jim's going to be with us, of course, throughout the day tomorrow as the trade deadline coverage here on HQ gets underway. The deadline, of course, 6 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday. We will have live countdown coverage on HQ at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, recapping the deals that have taken place, getting analysis from guys like Jim Bowden, Matt Snyder, and John Bolton.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.